My favorite NFL player prop for week 1 on the board currently is going to be Drake London under 4.5 receptions, and I'm going to tell you why right now. All right, guys, so I've gone ahead and pulled up the PrizePicks optimizer here at DGF, and we're going to utilize this tool to try to find profitable long-term plays over on PrizePicks by comparing sportsbook lines directly back to different DFS apps, and in this case, we're solely going to fixate on PrizePicks. And yes, we are going to build out a 5-leg flex slip over on PrizePicks because 5-leg and 6-leg slips are the best slip types in the long term that PrizePicks offers. So guys, if you're playing 2-man, 3-mans, go ahead, change your mindset, start entering 5 and 6-leg flex slips over on PrizePicks when you are building out on that app. But this Drake London play looks fantastic. This under 4.5 receptions, and I'm going to break it down right now and show you why we should be playing this on PrizePicks in a 5-leg flex slip. So we currently see that multiple sports books. So we have on PrizePicks right now the Drake London play at 4.5. We see that the sports books also have this set to 4.5, but heavy juice across the board on the under. The only book that kind of looks like they're not in agreement with this minus 135 to minus 150 line is Pinnacle, that currently has this set to minus 122 on the under. But we see DraftKings has this set to minus 140. Barstool, minus 145. BetMGM, minus 145. Caesars actually has this at minus 151. Bovada, minus 145. So a lot of book agreements that this should be in that range of minus 140 to minus 150 implied odds. And again, in our 5 flex slip on PrizePicks, we get this at minus 119 odds. So that Drake London play, under 4.5 receptions, currently has a 54.7% fair odds percent to stay under. So we're going to head over to NFL. I'm already there because obviously it's going to default to NFL. That's not how you spell Drake London. Let's go ahead and try again, guys, and try and get Drake London. Okay, there we go. That's not how you spell Drake London either. That's Rake Low. But again, that did the job. We're going to go ahead and throw in this Drake London under 4.5 receptions. We're going to head back to the PrizePicks optimizer. I'm currently filtering by just NFL. And we're going to look at this fantasy score play here for Sam Howell. And I'm going to break this down and tell you why this is another really good play to enter into a 5 flex slip over on PrizePicks. So with fantasy scores, when it comes to these sportsbook markets, right, they don't actually have a fantasy score market. But they do have the individual props that a lot of these DFS apps use to compute their fantasy score scoring. So what we can do is take the near even lines that the DFS apps actually use to come up with their scoring. In this case, we're looking at the quarterback fantasy score projection, and we're able to compute on the back end what these sports books would actually list these fantasy scores at if they did in fact have a fantasy score market. And one cool little feature that we've added is this little clickable box next to the players when fantasy scores populate onto the optimizer. And if we go ahead and click this, it's going to bring us to the fantasy scores page. If I go ahead, I click that, this should bring us to the fantasy scores page, which it is right now. And we can see Sam Howell here listed. There's a 1.8 difference between the sportsbook average and what PrizePicks currently has this listed at. So we see Pinnacle, Caesars, and Bovada all have those individual props needed to make up the fantasy score that PrizePicks uses for their fantasy score market. So we take the near even lines on all of the props on all of the sports books that actually have them. So right now we have Pinnacle, Caesars, and Bovada, like I mentioned. Given all that information, automating it for you on the back end, it looks like Pinnacle would have this set to 17.2 if they had that fantasy score market. Caesars would have this set to 17.5, and Bovada would actually have this set to 17.1. So that gives us that average of 17.3, whereas PrizePicks currently has this set to 15.5. So that's a 1.8 difference. So that's a really good discrepancy. We're going to go ahead and add that into our slip. We're going to add in Sam Howell over 15.5 fantasy score. And just like that, we have 2 profitable plays in the long run over on PrizePicks with Drake London under 4.5 receptions and Sam Howell over 15.5 fantasy score. Now, guys, this Logan Webb play is fantastic. So we're going to switch gears here because there aren't too many other profitable plays in the long term here for NFL. Let's go ahead and give this a refresh and see if we see anything else. That Desmond Ridder play is something we could add, but that's some negative correlation. If we're taking the under of Drake London receptions and the over of Desmond Ridder fantasy score, that is negative correlation. Now, if this Drake London over, or this Drake London receptions was pulling an over, so these sports books actually had juice on the over 4.5 receptions and not the under, then we could go ahead and take Drake London and Desmond Ridder, and we would have some positive correlation, right? So positive correlation just meaning that outcomes are more likely to happen together. So if Desmond Ridder obviously goes out, has a good game, gets a high fantasy score, that means that one of his main targets, being Drake London, so his main beneficiary, is probably going to have a good game as well, right? So we don't want to go ahead and add an under with an over when it comes to quarterbacks and wide receivers. So we're going to go ahead and filter by all and see what else is on the optimizer right now. Guys, one quick sidebar I do want to talk about. It's going to be parlay play, and the value right now that is on their board when it comes to NFL for week 1. There's already been so much value that we've secured throughout the week. So we obviously have player props that have been bumped, removed, etc. But right here, if we filter by 6-pick insured slip, so that's the best slip type over on parlay play, it's roughly 53.1% fair odds percent. Plus, for each individual leg to remain profitable in the long run because of their unbelievable payouts that they have. Their 5-pick and 6-pick insured slips are not only their best slip types that you guys should be entering, but they're the best slip types payout-wise in the industry. So right here, all of these plays right now are plus EV when it comes to a 6-pick insured slip over on Parlay Play. So if you guys haven't downloaded Parlay Play, I don't know what you're doing, especially if it's legal in your state. Highly suggest downloading it, locking in some of this crazy value. And again, you can use code DGF for a 100% match up to your first $100 deposit. But let's jump back over and finish out our PrizePicks slip. And there's some really good plays. So let's go ahead and get some of these added in right now. And we're going to start at the top. Ronald Acuna and Brian Reynolds over 4 HRR combo is pulling very high, and this looks like a fantastic play. I want to see if this is still up here. Again, I can't type, so I apologize. Ronald Acuna, yeah, so it looks like that just got bumped. That 4.5, okay, so the opto just hasn't adjusted yet. Let's give it a refresh and see if it's still up there. It is, okay, that should update in a second. But this Randy Arozarena and Julio Rodriguez over 3.5 HRR looks fantastic as well. Decimal points less than what Acuna and Brian Reynolds has in terms of their fair odds percent to hit. So let's go ahead and get that added. So Julio Rodriguez and Randy Arozarena over 3.5 HRR combo prop looks fantastic. And then directly below that, we talked about the fantasy score market, right? Same thing can be said with NFL for MLB pitchers. Logan Webb looks unbelievable right now. It looks like PrizePicks is way too aggressive on his line. I want to give it a quick glance. So we're pulling DraftKings and Caesars right now that would have this set to 29.2 and 29. And again, PrizePicks is set to 32.5. That is a 3.4 difference from the market average of 29.1. So I definitely want to get this Logan Webb play entered before it gets bumped down. So we have Logan Webb under 32.5 fantasy score. And then, guys, we need one more play here to fill out our 5 flex slip. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull down the list. That's exactly what I do. If there's plays that I haven't used, because obviously you don't want to overexpose when you're building out these slips, but all these combo props legitimately just popped up as I've been recording this video. So let's go ahead and add in one more. We're going to add in Elliot De La Cruz and Nolan Arenado over 3.5 HRR combo props again. So we're loving these combo props. They've been very good to us so far. De La Cruz and Nolan Arenado over 3.5 HRR combos. Let's make sure we don't have any negative correlation here with the MLB plays, and we don't. And guys, that's going to do it. That's our 5 flex slip, just like that. We have 2 really good NFL Week 1 player props that we added in, being Drake London under 4.5 receptions and Sam Howell over 15.5 fantasy score. And then we have some really good MLB props for today. Randy Arozarena and Julio Rodriguez over 3.5 HRR combo. Looks like PrizePicks is way off when it comes to that prop. This will get bumped to 4. We got Logan Webb under 32.5 pitcher fantasy score. I'll be very surprised if this closes at 32.5. I assume it will get bumped down to 31.5, potentially 30.5, but we will see. And then Elliot De La Cruz and Nolan Arenado over 3.5 HRR. Again, that will get bumped to 4 as well. So guys, if you are tailing, go ahead, smash that like button. Also, if you haven't yet, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. So whenever we do go live or post content, you get notified first. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I love you, and let's cash. One more thing I wanted to add in, guys, before I go ahead and end this video is that here at DGFantasy.com, we're currently offering 7-day free trials. So what does that mean? That means you can sign up for our Fantasy Bundle subscription, and you can get 7 free days before you get charged on that subscription to test out our tools and our products. We want you guys to get a firm understanding of what it is exactly that we have to offer here at DGF before you lock into a membership. So if you guys are interested in signing up for a 7-day free trial, you can go to DGFantasy.com. That link will be below in this video, and you can test us out for 7 days free before you're locked into a commitment. Hopefully you guys sign up. If you have any questions, as always, go ahead and leave anything in the comment section below.